Here we go, folks. It's starting to get ugly. Technology and politics. Yesterday, FCC Chairman Ajit Pai announced his plans to undo the net neutrality regulations protecting the internet. We've already seen this administration take that first step in dismantling the privacy protections which prevented large ISPs from selling off your data, and now it looks like they're coming for the rest of net neutrality. Chairman Pai and FreedomWorks are touting this deregulatory move as a boon for businesses, specifically trying to champion this as some kind of benefit to small businesses, which historically we just can't find much evidence to support. Deregulation like this certainly helps the top players in the industry, and removing net neutrality protections means ISPs can do whatever they want with the data streams they control. If you're a small developer looking to create the next hot internet trend, you have a little less incentive to try and compete when an ISP can throttle your service in favor of their own. People who think that last point is some kind of sky is falling fear, uncertainty, or doubt, that's exactly what ISPs tried to do to Netflix. Sure, your Netflix stream seems to be buffering a lot, but wouldn't you like to just use our video on demand service instead? That runs like butter. This really shouldn't be a partisan issue. If you care about business, both small and big, if you care about healthcare, if you care about education, if you care about the future of our aging electrical grid, and if you care about your privacy, this is exactly why we need some kind of regulatory agency that will enforce some form of net neutrality provisions. It's an overly simplistic talking point when people point to the age of these utility laws. How could we possibly govern a 21st century creation like the internet with laws that were written back in the 1930s? Not like we can't point to laws that are still valid from that time period today. Sure, there are plenty of laws that have outlived their usefulness, but the Communications Act of 1934 has been updated over time and remains relevant today. Do you enjoy the fact that you have some competition when it comes to your cell phone carrier? 4 major players, maybe 5 if you live in an area where you've got US Cellular, and a bevy of MVNOs like Cricket and Straight Talk. That competition only came about when we broke up Ma and Pa Bell. Since then, as we've made additional moves to deregulate this industry, have we seen more competition or less competition? Look at your current broadband offerings. In most areas around this country, you probably only have access to 1 DSL and 1 cable company. And in quite a few regions, you probably don't even have that. I can't stress this enough. The future of the United States as some kind of economic leader hinges on us being competitive, especially in the technology space. And for us to be technologically competitive, we need a marketplace that embraces a free flowing of ideas and competition. That cannot happen if we dismantle the few protections we have in regulating this space. I live in California, so I'm pretty much assured that most of the elected officials from my area are going to be supporting regulation of the internet. And I'll be engaging with my family and friends to try and get them active, to try and get them on board, writing to their elected officials to try and sway some kind of public sentiment. But this is one of the most insidious factors of what's happening politically right now on both the left and the right. We've reached that point of outrage fatigue. We're all getting hung up on labels and posturing, and the things that really matter to our daily lives, the things that matter to the future of our economy, are slipping by us. My fear is that we can't move the needle politically on a topic like net neutrality without a significant push from the populace. And when politicians sold away our privacy rights, that registered barely a blip. A couple days in the 24-hour news cycles, and then we all just kinda got on with our lives. If we let the same thing happen with the rest of our internet protections, it's going to be exceedingly difficult politically to replace those regulations in the future. It was a decade-long fight just to get them enacted in the first place. Folks, this is a fight worth fighting. And I hope you'll join me by adding your voice to supporting net neutrality, writing and calling your elected officials, and sending messages to the FCC. It was a struggle getting these protections in place, and we have to keep the pressure on to see that they remain. I thank you for your time and your consideration on this issue. As always, thanks so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and I will catch you all on the next video.